Rajni ma'am, you can start now. Guys, we'll start within 2 minutes.
Hi everyone. How are you guys? Good evening. Good evening, Akhil. Hi Gopi. Hi Supraja. Good evening. Good evening, guys. Hi Nitisha. Hi Venkat. Hi Deepak. Okay. Hi everyone. How are you guys? All good? Okay, good. Thank you, Priyanka. All good. Yes, very well. Thank you. Thank you for asking. So, yeah, we will get started. And yes, we have discussed about the Selenium and Java, some of the testing and the frameworks. So today we will start with the API testing. So what is APIs? First, we will try to understand, and then we'll discuss about the APIs and testing of the APIs. Okay. So good. So before we move into the topic, anything do you know, guys, what is API? Where do we find these APIs? What do you know about API? What does it mean? Anything, any idea do you have? No? Okay, good. Thank you for being honest, Copy. Thank you. Yeah. Anyone else? No? Okay, application, package, interface. Okay, Deepak, do you think? Okay. So whatever you feel, guys, whatever you think, what it is, or you have some information or definition, or anything sort of. Okay. No? Okay. So, okay. So, Babu Reddy, yes. Application programming interface. Okay. Okay. Yes. Correct. So API is application programming interface. So what does it mean by application programming interface? What it does, right? So this is full form. Okay, but what it actually does, where it actually we find or where these APIs are present. Okay, so to understand this, where the APIs are present, we will understand. Okay, first, where we can find these APIs. Just a minute, guys. Okay, so let me draw something here and then we'll understand what does it is. So how the applications are developed, what is the web application? Web application will have the UI, which is your HTML pages. Yes. What is this UI is called as GUI, graphical user interface. Yes. So this is also called as presentation layer. So presentation layer it is. So what is this? Your pages. It may be anything. Okay. So what example we are looking at? We are looking at an Amazon page. So this page is the graphical user interface where user is able to click on some buttons. These links are available, images are available so that user is getting information and he can perform some actions on this UI. So UI is user interface, graphical user interface. Clear? So this is also called as presentation layer. So why we call it as a presentation layer? Because we are presenting something to the user and user is able to click here, perform some actions, add the items to the cart, place the order. Everything is performed using this UI where the images are displayed. So user getting all things presented in front of user. Everything is present in front of user in the form of graphical user interface on this HTML pages. Yes. So can we say that this presentation layer is developed using HTML pages? So these are the HTML pages that we see. Yes. These are the HTML pages in short. Yes, guys, able to understand, right? So you have presentation layer. Yes, Priyanka, correct. So there are three separate layers present: business layer, database layer, and the GUI. Okay. So first layer, we are trying to understand where this is your presentation layer, where your UI is present, HTML pages are. What is another layer? There is a business layer. What is this business layer is all about? Okay. So what is this business layer? So this is business layer. So whatever your business is, okay, so what is the business of Amazon? Yes, what is the business of Amazon? Adding these items, you will add it in the cart and then you will place an order. So it is online platform, e-commerce platform to sell some of the items, products, right? All variety of electronics and other things, fashion items, books, everything is available for a user to purchase. So what is a business? It is an e-commerce business, correct? Right? Online purchasing platform, correct? Right? So what is a business? The business is, or what is the objective of that application? So Amazon business is about online purchase platform. So people are able to purchase something. So this business layer is the application programming interface, where your application core logic is implemented, the methods are implemented. Okay, so this is your API. Okay, so this is your API. This business layer consists of APIs. Okay. So this is the API. And what is the next we have? Okay, business layer is logic process is carried out and transactions between the user interface. Yes. Okay, so whatever you perform, you place an order and all, that will be maintained, right, in this APIs, performed using this APIs. Okay. So this is the transaction is performed or the user is able to purchase some items where that data is stored, whatever you place a order. Okay. So you place a order and in your account history, you will be able to see what is the previous purchase. Okay. You are able to cancel or you are able to return items as well. Right. So in your account, the details are displayed with your address details or with your card, the payment type, all the details are saved in your account details are maintained, right? Even after you log in after a year, your account is available, right? Where the data, everything is been stored, that the data is stored in the database. Okay, but from the databases, how it is being displayed on the UI using these APIs. Whenever you log in, how that verification will happen, that are you the valid users, the correct username, password you have given, that will be validated with these APIs. Whatever data you are requesting, suppose you are clicking on my orders. Okay, then you will get the orders you placed. Yes, the list of history, all the history you will get. If you click on a cart, you will get the items what you have added in the cart. Have you ever seen that you are able to see the items added by others in your cart? No, right? You are able to see your own items, what you added in a cart. Yes, how that is that accurately that everything is been maintained, that everything accurately is been maintained in the database. So this is your database layer. So in the database layer, all that information is stored and then validated using the APIs. Okay. So as a user, you will request something. You are requesting something. What you are requesting? You are requesting for when you click on this, when you click on the UI, okay, in your cart. If you click on this cart, whatever is available in your cart, you are able to see, right? The order history, if you click on something. So clicking is nothing but you are requesting that data. Right from the UI, you are requesting that I want to see the card data. So APIs will go to the database, take the data from the database and then display on the UI to user. Okay. So all the actions, whatever you are performing, how that automatically done, whatever the data you are requesting, how that is displayed on the UI, how that is displayed on the UI. There is a code, something code, right? So that code is nothing but the APIs, the methods, that functions, that entire layer of business logic is written using these APIs. Yes. So whatever request you do, whatever request you are asking, okay, the response you are getting, right? So response you are getting. So can I say the request you are writing it in this way? Okay, so request you are asking for and then you are getting the response. Okay, so I'll write in this. So you are getting the response for the request you are requesting. Okay, so now we will understand what is this request and response. So what is this request and response? So the request, you are asking for some details. You are asking for some data. Okay. It may be anything. It may be you're asking for the data to show the items available in a cart, or your order history, or you're creating a user, or you're updating your address details. You're performing something. That is, you're requesting something, then you get a response. So you get a response on the UI. Who is giving you the response? Who is sending you the response? The APIs are sending the response. The APIs are developed. Then the APIs are sending the response. So you are able to see that. Yes. So now we will understand what is a request and response. Okay. So now we will try to understand what is request. So now what is understood? What is the background of this? Yes, guys. Able to understand? So what is request? You are asking for a request. Able to see the screen, guys? Request you are asking. Okay. So as a user, this is user. Okay. So I'll say this is user. You are asking for a request. So what is your request is? It may be anything, right? What is the request? Request is you're creating a user, or you're trying to log in, right? So the response is given to you. So from where we are getting the response? From the database. From that, the data is displayed. From the databases, we are getting the response. Okay. Yes. So now in this Amazon page, we will see. Try to understand this. Okay. Suppose you are on this page. Okay. You are clicking on mobiles. Means you are asking for the data for the mobiles. What type of mobiles are available that you can purchase. Right. So you are getting the response. This page is loaded. You are able to see the screen and see the items. These all items. So you got the response from the database with these all items that for your category of the selection. Okay. So if you click on mobiles and accessories, cases and cover, you get only those response, only to the request you have asked, the response you get. So this is the request and response. Able to understand what is request and response? Yes, no. Can we get quick replies? Yes, no. Yes. Okay. Okay, Tasneem, thank you. Others? Others? What is? So now tell me, what is API? API is application programming interface. So whatever user is asking the data, that is the request. And what you get on the UI, that is a response, right? So you have the response that you are getting. Suppose there are no items on the whatever you are asking. Suppose you are searching for the some of the items in the mobile and cases and cover for some type of mobile, but there is no data available. So you get no data found, right? So there is no data available. You get the proper information that data is not available. If the data is available, you get the response that, okay, this is what the cases and cover that are available. So you can purchase, right? Like this, you are getting the response. Okay, so this is about the request and response. This is about the APIs. So now we will understand what is API testing. Okay. So now we will understand what is API testing. So testing of APIs means nothing but testing of API is nothing but you will test this core logic of the business, right? So you will test this APIs. So you are going to test this. Yes. So test these APIs, test this API layer. Okay. So test this API layer, how the data is displayed, what are the APIs that are available, and we will test with some set of input. Yes, we'll test with setup input, and then we will check the response what we are getting. Yes, simple. That's it. Okay, so we are going to test with the some set of request. Okay, so whatever set of request you have, some set of request I'm asking. Okay, so that set of request you will send with some data inside it. Okay, what we send we will see, and then you should get a response, some set of data you should get. Okay, so that data is we are validating. So what request we are sending, what data we are receiving, that is what we test. Okay, so in this case, can I say that if we are creating a user should be created? This is what my testing is. Okay, so I am creating a user with all the user details. Okay, username, email ID, and mobile number. So I'm creating a user with these details. What three details we are sending? User ID, email, and then mobile number. And we are creating a user on the Amazon. Then user should be created. We should get the response that user should be created or user is created, and you will get a response. So we test these scenarios, that we test from the UI, similar to that scenarios only we test in the APIs, but we test the core logic, the functionalities. Okay. So in this, okay, so in this, what we will do is, so what we will do is, in this, what we will test is, we will test this everything. Okay, so which is your API using some tools, because you will test this API directly. You will not test the UI. Okay, from the UI, what we were testing? From the UI, we were testing that buttons are displayed. Okay, user is able to click on that button. So we used Selenium for automation and manual testing, right? So Selenium and manual testing we have discussed. Right? Selenium and manual testing both are for the GUI we have discussed. That is clear. So now for the APIs, how we perform. So we are not going to look at this GUI at all. So we are not going to look at it. We are just directly testing these APIs. In the API testing, we directly test the APIs and we look into the database, whatever is done, that is user is created or not, whatever you placed a order is placed or not. So you will test in the database that data entry is created. So if you created a user in the database, okay, user is created or not with that ID. Okay, then you have multiple tables in the database. Some set of tables are available. So consider you have so many tables. Okay, so all those tables are updated when you create something. When you created a user table will be updated, right? Yes, user table is there and then that is updated. Once you place a order table is updated. Able to understand? So in API testing, we are not going to look at this GUI. We are not going to look at this. So we are not going to look at means maybe it is not developed also. We test the APIs when this core logic is developed. Maybe this UI is developed or it is not developed also. Initially, your developers will start developing the database and then APIs. So when they started developing these APIs, we will start testing the APIs from that point. Maybe UI is not at all developed, or maybe it is developed also, but we will not look at the UI. Directly, we will hit the API. Hit means the endpoints we will take, the URLs, URI we will take, and then check the response, send the request and check the response. Clear? So UI is not present in the API testing. Clear why it is not present? Because we are testing the APIs. APIs are present in this business layer. So whatever you perform the actions, the data is updated with that action. So you are creating a user table is updated. Able to understand? So if you are creating a user table is updated. You are placing the order table is updated. Yes. Do you know, have an idea about databases? Yes or no, guys? Yes. Okay, good. So the testing is, yes, endpoint and test data. Sample request will be given by the developer. Okay. So the developer will give the sample request, what you will send to the API. Okay. And what is the endpoint? What is the method? That details will be provided by the developer. Yes, correct, Deepak. Then we will test according to it. So what is the sample request they will give? We will see some of the examples. So now we are understanding the basics of what API testing is. So in API testing, we do not have the UI. Okay. So tell me now, only you have to reply in yes or no. Okay. So API testing can we perform looking at this UI? Yes or no? Everyone tell me reply yes or no. Only yes or no. And only reply to me. Yes, correct, Deepak. Others? So API testing can we perform looking at this page, this presentation layer page? Can we look at and then perform? No. Yes, correct. So we cannot look at this, or this page is not developed. This is not available. We are testing the APIs. Maybe this page is not developed, or even though it is developed, we are not testing from the UI. We are directly testing the APIs. Okay, so how we perform then? When there is no UI, how we are going to test? We are going to test using the tool. Okay, so what is the tool we are going to use it? Okay, so what is the tool we are going to use? That we will see. So we use the tool Postman tool. Okay, so we use some of the tools and then perform the API testing. So some tools we use and then perform the API testing. Okay, so we take help of the tools and perform the API testing. Because UI is not available, not Cucumber, no. No, Abdul, we are not using Cucumber. Cucumber is something different. Okay. So tools such as Postman we use. Okay. Yes, correct. Yes, correct. So now we will look at the what are the advantages of this. Okay, so API testing. Understood API testing, clear? So in this API testing, we perform the testing of the APIs. That is interfaces we test. Okay, so we check the functionality, performance, security, reliability of the interfaces. Okay. So what we test in this API is we provide some set of input and then we check the output. Okay, so it means we are sending the request and response we are validating. So API testing is done with a request and response. Okay. So we send a request and we get a response. Okay. So we send the request and get the response. So then response is then we validate for the correctness. Okay. So are we expecting this response or not? That is what we validate. Then we validate the response for the given request. Okay. So what you need to perform or what you need for the API testing. So you need one tool. Directly you cannot perform. So you need a tool which is something Postman. We will see the installation of this tool and usage. So you will write your own code. Okay, so you will write a code and you will test it. Okay, write a code means what request you have to send. You will write some code and then test. Okay. Then what you have to do, first thing you have to set up the API testing environment. Okay, so API testing, what you need, the basic things you have to set up. Then what type of output you want to test, that you have to figure out. Nothing but a test cases. Okay, what is valid user creation, what is invalid user creation. Okay, valid and invalid scenarios you will write and that you will test. Okay, for an invalid request you should get a response with the invalid message. For a valid request you should get a response with a valid response, right? This you perform. So what is the output you get? What is the response you get? Okay, so what is the response we get? In the response we get any type of data, whatever is the configuration is given by the developer. Okay, so any type of data, or we can say as per the configuration, which is by the design. Can I say as per the design? So you get a response. Also you get the response as a pass fail. So that is a status. So you get the status in the response. Or you get your one API is calling another API, maybe. Okay, so your one API can call another API. So this is bit complex. We will not look into this. Just we will try to understand what is the status. So if you have seen, sometimes you get 503 error. What is this error? You get some 404 error, right? What is this error? So these are the error status codes. So you get a status code. Yes, page not found. Okay, invalid request, something, or client server error, or a server error, client error, something like that you get. Yes. Have you seen or not, guys, everyone? So if you are trying to hit a URL which is not available, suppose which is something you are trying to hit URL which is not available. Okay. In this, the page is not available. So you get some response code in cases where you don't have that page. or that server is down, right? So client error 404. Okay. So now we will try to understand what are the different status codes. So status codes of the response when you perform the testing. So you have different status codes. 1XX. It means 101, 100, or 101 or 102. Okay. All these are 1XX. 1XX are for information. Okay. Any information you have to give it to user, then that will be 1XX. Okay. So yes, 400 is client error. 500 is server error. Yes, correct. So all the 1XX are for information. All the 2XX are for success. Success means 2XX means 200 to 300. 200 to 299. Okay, it may be 201, 202. Okay, 202, 203. All these are for the success. Yes. All the 3XX, these are for the redirection. What is the range? 300 to 399. So this range of the error codes are for the redirection. These 4XX are for the client error. So what is the range? 400 to 499. And 5XX, which is for the server error. So what is the range? 500 to 599. Okay. So here 503 is the which error? Now tell me. Client error or server error 503 is. Can we get the quick replies? Okay. Yes, correct. Yes, correct. So this is the server error. So now 404 is what? Tell me. Which error it is? Yes, client error, right? 404 is the client error. Correct. Okay, so these are the responses we get. Okay, what is the request we send, how we use this Postman, we will see that. Okay, so yes, so we will see the installation. Yes, correct. Shashadri, correct. Nishma, correct. Supraja, Priyanka, Gopi, Deepak. Yes, correct. Okay, Priya, Priyanka, Deepak, Babu Reddy, correct it is. Okay. Yes, Abdul, correct. So 404 is the client error and the server error. Okay. So now suppose you are getting the response as a 201. So what does it mean? Tell me. You are creating a user and then you are getting the user 201 response. It means it is success. User is created. Right? Yes, it is the response of successful. Whatever you are trying to perform, that is success. It means, okay, maybe you are reading some information, maybe you're creating something, maybe you're updating or deleting. Okay. Any operation you are performing, that operation is performed means the success. Okay. You may be reading the information, you may be creating it. Okay. You may be update it, and you may delete it. So whatever operations you perform. So whatever operations you perform, that operations are successful, it means. So what are the operations that you can perform? Operations you can perform as a user on the APIs. Okay. So this is nothing but the HTTP methods. Okay. To perform these actions. What are the operations you can perform or the actions you can perform on the APIs? So these are the operations. These are operations are called as CRUD. C, create, read, update, delete. So this is the CRUD operation. Yes. What is the CRUD operations? Create, read, update, delete operations. So this create operation is successful means you will get the 201 or 200 response. If you are updating the user, suppose you created a user and then password you changed later. Okay, then it is update, right? So you are updating password. So that is successful. Then you get a 200 response. If you are just reading the information, suppose you want to read of your information of the orders. Okay, you are clicking on the order so that your history is displayed. That is just a read operation. Yes. Or you are clicking on just your cart items. So you're reading the information what is been added in the cart. Okay, as a user, what all things you added in a cart, that is read operation you are performing. Suppose you want to delete something. Delete is like you want to delete your user account, whatever account you have. So in that case, you can delete as well. So that delete operation is successful means you will get the 200 response. Yes, clear? So this is about the request and response and the APIs. Okay. So now what are the advantages? There are so many advantages it is feeling like, right? So what are the advantages of the API testing? First advantage of API testing is, yes, first advantage of API testing is this is GUI independent. So your GUI is not available, even though that is not developed, you are able to perform the testing. Okay. Also, it will improve your test coverage. You will be able to test more and more scenarios. Improve the test coverage. And one more important thing of API is APIs are language independent. So language independent means what? Language independent means what? Okay. So this we will try to understand. So language means what? We will try to understand now. Okay. Suppose you have one application that is being developed using Java. Okay. And you have another application that is developed using another language, which is maybe .NET. Okay. Okay. So one is using the Java frameworks and one is other using the .NET frameworks. Can these two applications communicate? Tell me guys, can Java language method, they can call the .NET methods? right? Communication means what? The methods are able to share the data, right? You are calling some Java, some method, passing the parameters, and that call should go to your .NET method, which is available in this other language. No, right? So that is not possible. It should be same language. The Java classes can communicate with Java classes. Okay, you will create multiple classes. That data you can communicate between that same classes. Okay, it should be of a same language, right? Kind of a person who knows Hindi can talk with person who knows Hindi, right? If he is trying to talk with some person who knows other language, okay, he knows Tamil maybe, and he is trying to communicate. Can he communicate? No. He needs a some language translator, right? Someone should be there who will translate what he is talking, and then the translator will send this, and then again he whatever he is talking, he will convert it and give it. So this is being developed done by the API. So your API is working as a translator. Like whatever you are talking, you are asking for the details from the other language software that is developed using any other language as well, you are able to communicate with these APIs. So that is where the most important thing of the APIs. Okay. So that is why APIs are very famous. Okay. So that is why APIs are been widely used for the communicating two platforms which are developed using different platforms. Okay. Different languages. Okay, two platforms are developed using different languages can communicate using the APIs. Yes. So language independent. So your APIs are language independent. So you are able to communicate. So how they communicate then language independent, then in which language they write or we write the code in the APIs. So we write JSON and XML code. Yes, we write JSON and XML type of data. These are the data structures that we use to perform the communication. Like are APIs are able to exchange the data using this format of data. So this is used for the exchange of data, not the Java or not the .NET. It is JSON and XML. So JSON and XML is able to communicate between any of the applications which are developed in any other languages. Okay. So this is the advantage of API. Okay, good, interesting. So we will take a break here, guys. Okay. So we will take here 10 minutes break. Okay. Able to see the screen, guys? Yes. Okay. Yes. So we'll continue after a break. Okay. Yes, you will get the certificate of participation. Yes, Rakesh. So that you will get it. Okay. So the coordinators will be will be in touch with you. So they will give you that details. Okay. Yes, you will get it. Okay. Yes, we have Monday last session. So we have Monday as a last session. So tomorrow there is no session. Okay. So it is Monday to Friday. So we'll have on a Monday. Okay. Hi guys, back. Yes. Okay. So hi guys. Yes. Are you back from the break? Yes. Okay. So yes. Hi Nitisha. Hi Gopi. Yes. Good. Good. So these are the advantages of the APIs. So API is the first and most important advantage is language independent. Okay, so you are able to communicate the application which is developed in any language. So that is where the APIs are very famous. Okay, so what type of testing you will be able to perform using the APIs? So APIs, using the APIs. Okay. So what type of or what all the types of testing you can perform? What types of testing can be performed using the API? Okay. So to this, unit testing is the type of testing that we can perform. So unit testing is we can perform using the APIs. Also, you can perform the integration testing. What is unit testing? Unit testing is testing the smallest component of the software, right? That is a unit component. So you are able to test the unit component of your application. Yes, smallest modules that are tested. So you are able to perform the integration testing. So overall modules are integrated, how they are working, that you will be able to test with the APIs. And also you will be able to test the end to end. So end to end testing as well, you can perform the using the APIs. So how you create end to end testing using the APIs? First, you will create a user, right? That user is created, then you will log in with that user. After you log in with the user, you will add some of the items to the cart. You will place the order. Okay, that is where you can call the APIs in a sequence. That is called as API sequencing. One API call is, then again you are calling another API, and then after that you are calling another API. So you are able to perform end-to-end testing as well using the APIs. And you can perform the performance testing. What is performance testing? What is performance testing, guys? So load testing, how many users you are able to use the application, how many users at a time are able to use the same application. Okay, how much load it is taking, in how many seconds you are getting the response. These are some of the performance testing that you will perform, right? So these are the types of testing you will be able to perform. Clear? And also we will look at how we perform the testing. What are the steps? So now we will look at the steps to perform the API testing. Okay. So we discussed many things, how to do, what is API, all the things. Okay. In steps, first thing is you will hit the endpoint. So hit the endpoint, and second thing is verify the response. Yes, okay. We'll repeat what is performance. Performance means load. Okay. How many users your application is able to take a load. Okay, how many concurrent users? 1,000, 1 lakh, or how many users you are able to? How many users are able to use the application? Okay, and with these many number of users, how your application is behaving? Okay, so your application is giving the response to the user, or it is crashing in between, right? Suppose you tested one application that is working fine. Okay, suppose you tested one application which is this Amazon. Okay, so you tested Amazon and all the features are working, but if you have more users, your application is not working. That is the risk to business, right? Where is it is scalability? It is not, the performance testing is not done, so your application is not scalable, and then you are not able to grow your business, right? So how Amazon is able to take the load? How many users are able to use it at the same time? Tell me, Babu Reddy, like able to understand how many users this Amazon application is able to take a load at a time. Millions of users are accessing this. Then also it is working fine. Yes, yes or no? Not only million, I can say more than million or 10 million or more than that people are using at the same time. Yes, billion. Yes, we will say billion. Yes, correct. So billion users are using this Amazon platform, then also it is working fine. So that is where the performance. It is not only just login, user login is working and then users are able to log in. It's at the same time how many users are able to log in. At the same time, how many users are able to make the payments, purchase the items, and they're able to get the items delivered. Everything is a performance, right? So this is the performance testing. Performance means the application, how it is taking the load, okay, how it is taking the stress, how it is responding to the users if there are more than some X amount of users. Okay, so what is the maximum capacity of your application that you test with this performance testing? Okay, where it is breaking, how much of it is, like how many users are able to use it at the same time, and with that all the users, how much slow it is, how much fast it is, you have to test it. Yes, so that also we can test in the APIs. Okay, so that is the performance testing. Clear? Yes, Babu Reddy, clear? Did I answer your question? Yes, okay, good. Okay, good. So now types of or steps of API testing. Okay, how we perform the testing. So we will hit the endpoint first, then we'll check the response. Okay. Okay. So how we hit the endpoint? We will see this. Okay. So for an example, we will take some of the sample APIs. So able to see the screen, guys. So this is the website where we have some of the sample APIs hosted. Okay. You can use this for the understanding or testing or learning purpose. Okay. So in this get users. Okay. So this is the API that is available. Okay. So this is the endpoint. Okay. Copy this and we will hit this endpoint. Okay. Once you hit this endpoint, what will happen? The call will go to the API. Okay. Where it is? It will call a API and then it will go to the database, take the users list and then give it to you. What is this API is performing? So this API is performing. What is this API is performing? We will see now. So this is list of users. So it is the API. It is giving you the details of the list of users. So it is performing, you are performing a read operation. Okay. So it will take the list of users available in the database and give it to you in the response. Okay. So now I'll create a diagram, then maybe you will understand much better. Okay. So in this, okay, so in this, we will try to understand. So this is the endpoint you are hitting. Okay. So we are learning about the steps to perform the testing. First thing is you will hit the endpoint. And second thing is you will verify the response. Okay. And in this, what will happen when you hit the endpoint? Able to see the screen, guys? Yes. Right. So when you hit this endpoint, what happens is when you hit this endpoint, API will be called. So consider this is API layer, okay, where it's the API. So this is your API is considered. So API will be called. Yes. Then this API will take the data from the database. So you have data in the database, for example. Okay. So consider there is a database. In this database, you have data. Okay. So this data is been taken from the database. Yes, you will get a response. So how this endpoint is hitting the API and then response you will get. Okay. So able to understand what does it mean by hit the endpoint? Simple hit the endpoint means you will hit this endpoint. You will type this, you will hit this. Okay. Clear? So we will hit this endpoint using the Postman tool. Okay. So this we will see in the next session. So how we use this tool. Okay. For now, try to understand the basics or the logic of this, right? So we will use the API testing using this Postman tool. Okay. So which is the tool installation about it and then other things we will discuss. So in this tool, you are going to hit the endpoint and then this API will go to the database and take the user list and you will get the list. So what is the list available that you will get? So you will get the list of users. This is what the list of users you will get in the response. So you might be thinking, what is this entirely? I'm not able to understand. Yes, what is this? This is the JSON. Okay, this is JSON format data. So this is the JSON format of data. Okay. So what is JSON? We will try to understand now. So we are getting the JSON type of data. So we have to understand what is JSON and then we try to understand what that response is and we will try to understand what the response, the list of users we are getting that are correct or not. Okay. So in this JSON, what JSON stands for? Yes, guys, tell me what JSON stands for. Any idea? Yes, Priya, correct. A lightweight JavaScript, Java object notation. Is it a JavaScript? It is JavaScript object notation. Correct. Okay, many of you are correct. is a lightweight format for the storing and transporting the data. So it is used to store and transport the data. Okay. It is used to generally to send the data from the server to the web page. So JSON is the self-describing, easy to understand. So we will try to understand how easy it is. So I will create one JSON object, which is employee. Okay. So employees is the one JSON object we will try to create. Okay. In this, first name, this is the key and then value. Okay. This is parameter and value. Okay. And each data is been separated by comma. Okay. So last name and some value. Okay. So we will consider some example. Okay. And everything in this JSON we give in the double quotes. Okay. So the name and value pair, this is the name is also in the double quotes. The values are also in the double quotes. And then comma. Okay. So like this, you can have multiple employees, right? So this one employee is in the one bracket. Square bracket means it is an array. So it is an array of employees. So there might be multiple employees. Okay. Like this. So different employees will have different names. Okay. So we will take the names and finally we will not have this comma. Okay. So this is what the JSON is. So this is JSON array where the list of employees are available. So this is the one employee, second employee, third employee, like this. So JSON is self-describing. So this is the employee, that is array, first name is something, last name is this is. Okay. So these are the users that are available in the database. Okay. Able to understand, guys? Yes, everyone getting good. So we have attendance link in the chat, guys. You can mark your attendance. Okay. So this is JSON. One is okay. So now we will try to understand the response that we have in the API. Okay. So now in this list of users, you have this response. Okay, so you have data which is array, and then you have the users. ID 7 is the user ID. This is the email of the user, first name, last name, and this is. If you look at another API, which is to give the single user. So with the single user data, we will be able to understand little bit more. So now we will try to understand this response of the API. So in real time, API's responses will be something like this. Okay, something bigger, and where we have ID. So ID is always something different, right? All the employees will have different. Email ID is employee email, and then first name, last name. Okay, so this is something they have as a name avatar and some parameter. Okay, so it may be some logical thing related to the application. So this is the response that we are getting for the get of the single user. So we are getting the single user. In the list of users, we are able to get the list of users, that is array. Okay, data is the array, which is square bracket, and then all list of users we are getting in the response. Okay. So we also discussed about there is another type of data that is also used in the APIs, that is XML. Okay, so one is JSON, one is XML. So now we will try to understand what is XML. Okay. In short, we will see what is XML and then, okay, try to understand what is XML. So JSON, everyone able to understand the JSON response we get. So how to understand the JSON response? Yes. Okay, you have one question. Tell me, okay, we want to retrieve any data from the JSON. How we can get? Yes. Okay. So it is a JSON object. From the object, how we get a data? Okay. So it is the object, right? So the getting the data from the object is employee. Okay. Suppose I want to take the employees of the first name I want. Okay. It is the first element. So in the array, it is zero index. The first element is right. So employees of zero dot first name. Okay. What it will print? Employee zero of first name. Okay. Like this, you can take the first name. Suppose I want to take the another. Okay. So what output it will give if I print employee zero of first name, it will print the name John. Yes or no? Yes, Deepak, able to understand. Now employees one dot first name. Employees is the array. One means this is the object it is pointing to. So we will get the Babu. Yes. So this is how you access the data in the JSON object. Okay. Yes, three elements we have with the index 0, 1, 2. Correct, Vinod? So 1 we say, then we get the Babu. If we say 2, then we get the Deepak. Right? So here if you say 2 here in place of this. So you will get Deepak. If you say employees of one dot last name, what we will get? Yes, everyone, tell me. Yes, what we get? Yes. Yes, Gopi, correct. Correct, you got it. Yes, Deepak, able to understand. Okay, if I want to first name should be arranged in alphabetical, then how to achieve? Okay, so that is not needed. How, why in the testing we need to arrange the data in alphabetical order? Why we have to do that in the testing? Do we really do such activities, Deepak? Do you think in the testing we arrange the data, right? We are not developing the application and implementing the sorting on the UI. Just a curiosity you are asking. Okay. So, yes, that is been, yes, that is performed using the sorting techniques, right? So, you know the sorting techniques we have. So, you can store this data in any of the collection and then you can sort it and then display it on the UI. It's on the how you write a code. It is completely on the developer. They may use a sorting any of the technique or they may use a collection and then sort it. Okay. And then display on a UI using the JavaScript, display on the UI. So simply it is sorting techniques are used to sort it. Okay. Or else it will be stored in the collection and then printed that way. Okay. So it will be different from the language to language, application to application, framework to framework. That entirely depends on the framework design. Okay. How that is been done. Then to make you understand that, I may have to start with the string framework or give the understanding of other things in the Java or JavaScript, and then we can discuss about that. So that is maybe out of syllabus for now for us. Okay, Deepak? Okay. So now we will try to understand the XML. What is XML? Yes, guys, what is XML? Tell me. Yes, correct. Extensible markup language used to describe the data. So it is designed to store the data. Yes, store the data and transport the data. So it is also the self describing. So it is XML is self descriptive. So it is tag based. So XML tags are not predefined. You must define the tags, right? So XML tags, you must define your own tags. Tags, your own tags you can define, right? So the employee data, how you will store, it is simple in the tags. Employee, and you will have a tag, first name, and then value is John, and closing the first name tag. Okay. And then you have the last name tag, which is last name is, and then closing the last name tag. Okay. So this is employee 1. And closing of this employee tag. Yes. So how the data is stored in the tags, in the form of tags? This is one example of this XML data, how it is being stored. Okay. So this is about the APIs and basics about the APIs. So we will see some of the operations, the HTTP methods, CRUD operations, and Postman. Some of the examples of the API testing on a Postman in the next class. Okay. So please mark your attendance, guys. Any questions? Okay, good. Good. Thank you, guys. Please mark your attendance. Please feel free to share your feedback. How was the session? Able to understand, guys? How is the session? Good. You understood the topic, basics about the APIs? Yes. Yes, Monday is the last session. Yes. Thank you, Rakesh. Thank you, Deepak. Yes. What is the link to get the sample one? Okay. So this is where we have the sample. Yes. Okay. You can practice it here on this link. Okay. So you can keep this link and practice about the APIs. Nice, understood. Good. Thank you, Sheshatri. Thank you, Bharat. Thank you, some. No, Rakesh. As of now, no or nothing. YouTube channel as such is available to learn all these concepts. Okay. So we have been discussing the same channel. You can refer for more videos. Okay. And you can learn, you can enroll for the training where you can get more details about the topics. Okay, Rakesh. Okay, thank you, Priyanka. Okay, thank you, Deepak. Good. Jason, you understood Suman? Good. Good. Okay, you can discuss about this with the coordinators, Bharat. So, what is the next sessions that will be planned? What are, yes, what are the sessions that are planned? Yes. Not sure, Rakesh, about the data science program. You can get in touch with the coordinators. So, regarding the APIs, this is the link where I was showing you the details about the API. Okay. Yeah, Monday's topic is about the API testing using the Postman, where we will discuss about the how we actually perform the APIs. Yes, and we will discuss about the installation of a Postman tool and then perform the API testing. So where you get the practical knowledge about the APIs and testing. Okay, so Monday session is very important. You will understand how we do the API testing in the real time. Okay, so this was very basic. Now we will look at more details about the API testing. Okay. So automation class and this class are same. Yes. In the automation testing training, we cover API testing and manual testing. Yes. And automation testing of the APIs as well. So this is same training. Okay. If you have any queries, guys, you can send a mail on this edl@excelr.com. Okay, your all the queries will be answered. You can drop a mail to this email ID for any of the sessions on data science or any other program or any questions you have. So Monday we have the next session that is on 29th of August. Okay. Okay, so the materials, yes, you will get the materials. You can be in touch with the Amar. Okay, he is the program coordinator. So you can ask for the details, you will get it. Okay. You can send a mail to this email ID. Okay. And you will get all the details, study material, other things, whatever you want, you can ask for. And you will get the all queries answered. Okay. So for any queries, you can drop a mail on this email ID. Okay. So new section, which is the coordinators will give that information, Bharat, when the new section will start. Okay. So we will continue on Monday, guys. Have a great weekend. Have a great day. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Guys, regarding to the material, I just want to inform you that on a Monday you will get everything on a LMS itself. Day-wise material will be uploaded on a LMS on a Monday. Yes, Vinod Kumar, you have any question? Okay, welcome. I hope everything is clear. So we will wind up the session now. Tirnath, you can wind up.
Okay.